Green here for A Course in Miracles, lesson number 23. All right, let's open up the shoulders, the joint. We're going to kind of twist the joint around so we can get a little bit of release there. All right, hands out in both directions. I'm going to move this way so you see what I'm doing with my hands. So we're rotating the shoulder again. Do not do this if it's really painful, please. Okay. We first rotate in the front and the thumbs are toward the ceiling. And then exhale and rotate all the way around so the pinkies are facing the ceiling. Breathing in, thumbs up, and exhale, pinky fingers up. And I'll come back. Breathe in, and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. 2 more times. Breathe in, thumbs up. And exhale, pinky. Last one in. And exhale. Good. So we release some on the shoulder. So again, we just want to bounce, and it's like we're throwing down, like we have mud in our hands and we're just throwing it down, releasing the shoulders. Very good. Okay, good. A Course in Miracles, lesson number 23. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. The idea for today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Nothing else will work. Everything else is meaningless. But this way cannot fail. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts, then, that we must work, if your perception of the world is to be changed. If the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here you are changing the cause. The effect will change automatically. The world you see is a vengeful world, and everything in it is a symbol of vengeance. Each of your perceptions of external reality is a pictorial representation of your own attack thoughts. One can well ask if this can be called seeing. Is not fantasy a better word for such a process, and hallucination a more appropriate term for the result? You see the world that you have made, but you do not see yourself as the image maker. You cannot be saved from the world, but you can escape from its cause. That is what salvation means. For where is the world you see when its cause is gone? Vision already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. Loveliness can light your images and so transform them that you will love them, even though they were made of hate. For you will not be making them alone. The idea for today introduces the thought that you are not trapped in the world you see, because its cause can be changed. The change requires first that the cause be identified and then let go so that it can be replaced. The first 2 steps in this process require your cooperation. The final one does not. Your images have already been replaced. By taking the first 2 steps, you will see this is so. Besides using it throughout the day as the need arises, 5 practice periods are required in applying today's idea. As you look about you, repeat the idea slowly to yourself. First and then close your eyes and devote about a minute to searching your mind for as many attack thoughts as occur to you. As each one crosses your mind, say, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts about blank. Hold each attack thought in mind as you say this, and then dismiss that thought and go on to the next. In the practice periods, be sure to include both your thoughts of attacking and of being attacked. Their effects are exactly the same because they are exactly the same. You do not recognize this as yet, and you are asked at this time only to treat them as the same in today's practice periods. We are still at the stage of identifying the cause of the world you see. When you finally learn that thoughts of attack and of being attacked are not different, you will be ready to let the cause go. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. Okay, they talked about the three things. First, the change that is required is the cause be identified and let it go so that it can be replaced. The first two is what we're really working on now, especially in the first part of these lessons. The third one is talked about quite a bit later on in the lessons. All right, so how do we do this? It's so simple, but the idea is simple. But to execute is difficult, challenging, especially if for many years we've been operating from and indoctrinated with attack thoughts, defending attack thoughts from others, that sort of thing, all right? But the first is the cause to be identified. What we are thinking is creating the world we see. Remember, thought creates form. So we keep seeing what we are projecting out there. And the next part is about letting that go. And that's the hard one. Like, how do we let that go when we've been in this practice of doing that for so long? How do we let go of those feelings of being attacked, let's say? Okay. So the good news here is that, my answer to that is practice. And the good news is that you are already in a daily practice of doing just that. A Course in Miracles is a discipline. It's a lesson every day. So it is a practice. The Buddhists say that you have to be in the discipline of something 10,000 times before it just becomes second nature. You're literally beginning to do that now with these lessons. So yay, you. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. So being in the practice of identifying the cause. Ooh, wait a minute. I just had that thought. What am I projecting out there? That thought is going to create my tomorrow. So wait a minute. We're just being a witness, observing, identifying the cause of the world we see by noticing the thoughts that we're having. It can also be, the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, the behaviors, right? Okay. The second is letting it go. All right. Let's say you're smack in the middle of being really irritated by somebody, maybe on the road or, your loved one, right? You're feeling yourself getting worked up, agitated. You can begin to let go maybe in different ways. One is you kind of see the like a black hole opening up, and then all your feelings you can dump into it. So that could be one where you're just going, all these feelings, I now let the earth just swallow it up in that black hole and close it up. Another way may be to imagine putting all your emotions in a box and tucking that box away on a shelf someplace and, being able to deal with it later. Another is just taking 3 deep breaths right there in the moment. And if your loved one is asking, what are you doing? You can say, I'm kind of feeling reactive right now, and I'm just breathing to respond in a respectful way because I want to respond, but yet in a very loving, respectful way. So let me just calm down first. Okay, so you have some tips there. Observing the cause, just really being a witness, just noticing your thoughts and letting it go, either packing it away and dealing with it later at the moment, or just taking some deep breaths and calming yourself down. So it's a very effective thing to do right there in the moment when it's coming up. Okay, very good, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.